Everything hinges on identity. It is the compass of our faith that aligns with the Holy Spirit to fulfill the Father's will. Wrapped up in identity is who we are, the purpose of our being, and every God-breathed promise that manifests as our success. Hello, I'm Laquita Monley, and I'm the author of Redefining Success, 8 Tools that I use to develop a growth mindset. In this amazing book, not only will I share with you 8 tools that I use for a growth mindset, but I'll also share the applicable principles based on God's word that you can easily implement in your life journey. So no matter where you are and no matter where you see yourself in the future, this book will be a tool that you need for your toolbox. Don't wait, get it today, and it can be found on Amazon by simply searching Redefining Success, 8 Tools that I use for a growth mindset. Take care. Welcome everyone to another great episode of Laquita's Toolbox Live. I am your host, Laquita Monley, and I am super excited about today. Today, we are starting a brand new LinkedIn Live series called Building Business Bootcamp. And this is episode 1. And so I hope that you guys have brought something to write with and write on today as we jump into the Building Business Bootcamp. We're broadcasting today across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So guys, you don't want to miss this. We have an amazing panel of experts that are going to be sharing some great value with us today on how to properly build our businesses, as well as the importance of scaling and growth. And so I'm just going to start to bring them up and let them introduce themselves. But before I do that, I need to thank today's sponsors, which is Covenant Press. Covenant Press is a faith-based Christian apparel and accessory shop where we can shop online for clothing and apparel that allows us to wear the message and the love of Jesus Christ. You want to go out to www.covenant-press.com and order your items today. Again, thank you so much to our sponsors at Covenant Press. And we are thankful for their continued support of all things Laquita's Toolbox. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our guest. I'm excited today. So I hope you guys are excited. Hey, Miss Lachelle, how are you?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Good. Let's get everybody. And I'm going to mute everyone as we come in because I know the mics will start to give us more than a little bit of feedback here in just a minute. And so, Miss Lachelle, since I brought you up first, let's start with you, ma'am. If you could go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone that is watching and tell us, a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Awesome. Well, first, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I love this platform that you are hosting for us to get our businesses in order. A lot of times we just start business, we're thrown into it for whatever reason. As many of us can relate to with this pandemic, a lot of things happen without our ability to plan, but it's important to always have a foundation of knowing where you're going in spite of the challenges that you face. So I am America's Supermom. My husband and I have 15 children, and my platform is mental wellness. I am all about raising awareness on tips and strategies and tools that we can use as moms and women in order to achieve all that we desire in life without the expense of our health. So I have a little bit of a history in overcoming 13 years of depression, 3 hospitalizations, and now I'm just passionate about being able to share that important message and teach other women how to collaborate rather than compete. I'm also an author, a speaker, podcast host, and a TV producer, and I'm glad to be here today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your yes. And I can't wait to get your take on some of the things that we're going to jump into today. But let's move along to Dr. Tommy Watson, sir. Thank you so much for joining and thank you for your yes.
Hey, it is an honor to be here with you, Dr. Monley. Appreciate that, and all the great panelists as well. I'm very, very honored to be here with you. 15 kids. You are definitely America's mom. I'm very, very proud of you as well. So awesome. So I'm Dr. Tommy Watson. You know, much of my work that I do stems as a coach, speaker, and consultant and movie producer, stems from my own personal journey of growing up with parents who were drug addicts and shoplifters, who were arrested 121 times by the time I was an All-American football player, finishing high school. Spent a lot of time homeless as a kid, and really turning a lot of those transitions into success. So, as a coach, speaker, and a consultant, I work with individuals and organizations to turn that adversity into advantage. So, again, it's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you, sir, so much for your yes. I can't wait to hear you jump in as well. Miss Raquel, how are you, ma'am?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much. Go
My
ahead and let
pleasure.
everybody know who you are and what you do.
Oh, well, my name is Raquel May David. I am a credit enhancement specialist. I basically teach you the ins and outs of credit, how to master, and then how to pass that knowledge on to your children. Been doing it for about 17 years, and I'm super excited to be on this platform to be able to support everyone.
Awesome, awesome. I know you have some nuggets to share today, so I can't wait for you to dive on in.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Uh-oh. Let me do that. Hey, hey, Mr. Troy, how are you, sir?
I am well. I didn't know I was next. I was looking for somebody else to be next, but thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity for holding space. Shout out to some people I know, Victor and Tisha and everybody else, America Supermom. My name is Troy. I own a company called Troy Hope Consulting. I'm the CEO. The CEO stands for Chief Encouragement Officer. My title is my personality, and I am a certified financial educator on a mission to eliminate financial illiteracy. Just throw you out some statistics real quick. In America, the average net worth for a white family is 189,000. For a black family is 24,000. No, I did not make any mistakes with those numbers. If it's a single black female household, it's only 7,000. For every dollar that a white male makes, a white male makes, a white female makes 82 cents on the dollar. But if it's a black female, it's 68 cents on the high end, 58 cents on the low end. Black females are some of the most educated women in America. However, they carry the most student loan debt and get paid the least. Thank you for the opportunity, Laquita.
Listen, that is why you're on this panel today, sir. I'm telling you, the information that you provide from your platform is absolutely vital. So if you guys that are watching now on the live or on the replay have not tapped in to Troy, whether he's on LinkedIn, YouTube, he's on Twitter, he's in Clubhouse, he's on Wisdom, listen, you need to tap into this brother because he's got some gems that he shares daily and we need to know about him. Thank you so much for your yes today, sir. And we're going to keep going. Mr. Adioke, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Nice to be here. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Monley, Coach Monley. It's so great to be here. I want to celebrate you for what you're doing, showing up globally and value. My name is Adegoke Omotola. I'm a leadership coach. I run a podcast called Leadership Talk with Adegoke and speak to leadership on various platforms, leadership, innovation, leadership, and business. So I'm very passionate about leadership, and it's so good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your yes on today. Miss Tisha Hammond, how are you?
I am blessed. How about you?
I am doing great. I cannot complain. I am excited to be here.
Same here. Thank you for the invitation. Hello, kings and queens. I am Tisha Hammond, and a global pep squad calls me the small business cheerleader. I am the uh, queen to King Kenneth Hammond Sr. I am the mother to five and grandmother to many. In doing that, I also am the founder, creator of a Black-owned, woman-owned media distribution company and media relations company. It's called Ascent Small Business Promotion, LLC, and we are based just outside of Detroit, Michigan, and I'm blessed to be here with you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I can't wait to hear more from you. Let me get over here and unmic my boy. Listen, how you doing, Vic?
Dr. Monley, how are you, ma'am? I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite. This is a super powerful panel that you put together, and I just feel honored to be part of that. I am Victor Vonico Johnson. I'm a real estate entrepreneur, published author, speaker, and a youth development mentor. We've created a program to educate young people on entrepreneurship and also real estate investing. And my day job is helping create passive income for busy professionals through real estate investing. And so I'm excited today to share my insights on how to create a business and run it successfully. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Awesome. This is going to be some fun today. Uh-oh. Mr. Alton, can you come on up and introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, Dr. Monley and everyone else on the panel. I'm Alton McCallum. I'm a licensed professional counselor, educator, consultant, and business leader in Central Texas. I've created a wellness center that focuses on the mind, body, and spirit, soul with my wife, Lindy McCallum. And really what I focus on is just community building, working through civic government, police chaplaincy, university education, and wellness and resiliency training.
Awesome. I am so grateful for you. Yes, sir. I know a lot of times I've had so many conversations with different individuals, and there was like, I cannot find, sisters are showing up in the space as it relates to health and wellness and mental health and wellness. Where do I find some brothers? So if you had that question, you have now got the answer. This brother is doing some amazing things in the Central Texas area, and not only for individuals, but groups, civic organizations. So you don't want to miss this. Have this opportunity to tap into him. He's a wealth of knowledge. So catch this on the live, bring your questions, bring your gems, and also on the replay. So we're going to keep it moving. And we have, last but definitely not least, Coach Tawana Hayward Bay. Hey, how are you, Coach?
Hey, I am doing well, Dr. Monley. I am too proud of you. I am privileged and honored as I am sitting here to be with you. Thank you for the invite. You've got an amazing panel here. I know I'm going to be learning, but thank you so much. And to your audience that's listening as well. I know we're going to be dropping lots of gems today. I am Coach Tawana Hayward Bay. I am a 17-year self-employed entrepreneur. I am also an author as well. I'm a mom, a proud mom of 4 adult sons. My oldest is a veteran. I have 3 grandsons, and I am the queen bee of all of those men in my life. I have been running my business for these last 17 years. I won my first contract, 7-figure contract, in the first 6 months of a brand new business. Today, I teach business owners globally how to do that. How do you win 6- and 7-figure contracts, leveraging diversity certifications like an MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, a WBE, Woman Business Enterprise, a DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise? Oh, I'm here to talk about that and so much more today as it relates to surviving in business. I've seen it all. I've been up, I've been down, and I am honored by God to be here to share what I know. Thank you so much for having me today.
See, this panel is ready. And so I hope you guys are ready in the audience for your questions. I just want to take 1 minute before we jump right in to thank everyone that has been joining us across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We appreciate you for joining. Hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons right now. We want to make sure that this broadcast gets out to as many people as possible while we're on the live, because we want it to be an engaging conversation. Bring your questions, bring your comments, bring your tips, tool, and wisdom to share. So we're going to jump right in. And I know I had some preset questions for everybody, but you guys know I like to mix it up. But one of the things that I do want to know from each of you as it relates to your areas of expertise, if you guys could give me your definition of what it means to build business. And I'm just going to work my way back down the panel. And so we're going to start with you, Coach Tawana, since we ended with you. From your perspective, what does it mean to build business?
Business is you have to be open to building yourself. You cannot survive in business beyond 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years if you yourself are not growing. You have to build that foundation up by building you. That means investing in a coach, investing in a consultant, investing in a mentor, believing in something bigger than you, higher than you. For me, that's God. That's my relationship with God that I'm going to in prayer and for wisdom, seeking advice, but always investing in growing, developing, whether it's your leadership skills, your presentation skills, your communication skills. How about your financial skills? You have to understand how to manage the money. You can't always look to your team. You have to know and understand everything, the HR, all of it. You have to invest in you first. The business will go as far as you go. And if you're not growing and developing, you can forget about taking it to the next level, especially 7 figures and beyond. That's what it means to me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. And hopefully that's the direction our conversation will continue to go, because personal growth and development, for me, is fundamental. It's foundational. Hey, Alton, so what do you have to say about that? Like, what does it mean to you as a mental health professional, working with so many professionals across different areas of expertise? What does it mean to you about building business? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
I think he may have left, Laquita. I don't see him.
Uh-oh. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Awesome. I'm sorry about that difficulties. But yeah,
Thanks,
definitely, I agree with everything that Coach just said. You know, and I'll kind of go a little bit deeper on the component of purpose and calling. Whenever you're in the helps business and wanting to develop and bring a community resource to bear on the market, the things that you feel like you're called to, it's a growth. It's almost like, you know, what we read in the word, right? Becoming these trees that people can eat off of. And part of that is making sure that we're doing this personal work, whether it's the systems in which we grew up in, the things that impact us through trauma, the things that we've witnessed or vicariously began to live through some of the narratives that we have in the world and our current culture, and bringing those things and making sure that they're processing. I think one of the greatest assets within what I do, or what God's kind of revealed to me, is making sure that as a business leader, you have some place of exchange, right? We know the great exchange that Christ did and gave to us, but we have to bring that into practical terms on a daily basis. What is your process of exchange? The bad emotions, the anxiety of business, the anxiety of creating deals, and where are you bringing that on a daily basis, making sure that's coming off your shoulders as a business leader. You're not walking around and carrying that all the time.
That's why I have you on here, sir, because sometimes we internalize that stuff. We keep it too long. We don't know what to do with it. And it comes out in such a negative way. So I can't wait to hear you dive deeper into that component of being a business leader. So we're going to move right along to Vic. What's going on, Vic? Talk to me.
All right, Dr. Monley. So, you know, building business for me is several things. I'm in real estate. So the numbers, right? The revenue has to continue to grow for you to be in business. And I think oftentimes, especially entrepreneurs, they get afraid of the success, but you're in business because it's an enterprise. You're supposed to be growing it so that you can also afford other people an opportunity to work for you. So you're creating jobs, you're creating, you know, a better community. So for me, definitely the personal development, but I got to look at my team as well. Who are the team members that I've enlisted to grow this thing? Are they sharpening their saw consistently? Am I giving them the tools to continue to be better? Am I giving them the trust to step up and actually be uncomfortable in their role so that they can grow? So scaling in business is your building growth. Like every year you should be looking at, has this business grown? Has it increased? Have I reduced expenses? What am I doing in the marketplace to add more people into it? And of course, am I contributing to the community that I'm in by adding to the tax roll? I mean, we're talking about business, right? So if it's business, you should be growing your business. And those are the things for sure in a 2-minute response that I would say you need to be focusing on.
See, I told y'all this time limit was going to be relative, but you dropping some amazing gems. We're going to come back, though, because you said some stuff right there. Like, sometimes I've been in those conversations, and we've had them on Create Your Future Self Live, where our objective shouldn't be just to grow business and create wealth for our families, but the impact it's having on our community. Are we creating jobs in the community? Are we a business that is helping our community grow and thrive? So we definitely are going to come back and let you dig a little bit deeper into that one. Talk to me, Miss Tisha. How are you?
I am well. And see, Victor's response is exactly why he got 5,000 extra cool points when he was a guest on my show. Because he just comes with great information. And I'm sure we're all going to get some nuggets from each of the panelists here. So my definition of business building is the wisdom to understand your industry, right? Access to engage with communities, plural, prioritizing your resources. That's human resources first, capital resources, and then other resources that you have access to. You see, I put humans first on that list, right? Our human resources are the priority in building businesses. You don't have a business if you don't have customers. You don't. That's just reality, right? Building business also means, for me, having the wherewithal to know how to achieve peak performance, to achieve it longer and more regularly, so that it's not uncommon, so that it's not scary, so that you're striving for that year over year. And then when you are used to having peak performance, that's supposed to exude throughout the culture of your organization. Even if you're a solopreneur, you have an organization, right? Hopefully you have an org chart. And even if you're the only person in every job description on the org chart, you still have an organization, right? And so building business is kind of reminiscent to me of the lyrics of Stevie Wonder's Higher Ground. So I'm not going to sing because we don't want to get any violations here with intellectual property rights. I respect it. I'm going to just say them. Higher ground, building business. I'm so glad that I know more than I knew then. Keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Don't let nobody take you to a low level. Just keep on trying until you reach your higher ground. So from a public relations perspective, building business means making the decision to show up out front and in the news to reach a larger audience. It is truly easier to get repeat business than new business, but that don't mean you stop trying to get new business and being the solution to new problems and challenges for others in the community.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And we won't get any copyright violations on that one.
All right.
But that was a lot of truth right there. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. There we go. Can you hear me, Eddie? Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I know it might be a little bit of delay, everybody, because he is joining us all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. So I would love to hear your perspective on what it means to build business.
Can you? I think my I'm so sorry.
That's okay, sir. We'll circle back around.
All right. Okay.
That's all right. Technical issues happen. All right. We're gonna keep it going. So let me get on down here and let's go into Miss Raquel.
All right. Oh, hi guys. So business to me is about being solutions based. I understand organically that I am here after life has happened, right? One of the models that I have for my business is your Adam had a second chance and so should your credit. Like everyone does something, everyone experiences life. And when we do that, where do we go from there? And I use that same solution based when it comes to my business. And that means that I'm going to make sure that when we're talking about human connection, a lot of times when I'm dealing with individuals that come to me, this might be their last time or this may be their 15th experience, right? And we have to understand in business that we're solving a problem with a human being that has a pulse. And they're coming to you saying, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know what I did wrong, but how do I fix it? And we're all mini Olivia Popes. And if we can use that same mindset of how to fix it, right? Sometimes you hide in the body. Like sometimes you're hiding some information as far as like, okay, here's this information. They didn't know what it was. Now we're uncovering it and we're now solving the problem for our community. And it's infusing that information outside of myself, outside of my family, but giving it to them in a way that it's digestible and it's repeatable. So now they can use that product, they can use that service, and then they can go ahead and pass it on to someone else, and that repeats, right? Because all of us are here, and we're our own mini Walmarts, we're our own Targets, right? With the information and the knowledge that we have. And if we're pouring that same idea and that philosophy of what can I do to help, and how can I give you this information for you to then pass it on to someone else that comes in contact with you, I've now done good business. And that's the way that I look at it.
Good deal. Love that answer. Love that answer. We're going to circle back around to you because I need you to dispel some myths about what credit restoration and credit building actually means. So we're going to get back to you on that one now. Dr. Tommy, if you could come on up, sir, and give us your thoughts on what it means to build business.
Yeah, I love what's been said so far, and drop the mic to everything that's been said so far. I agree 110%. Jay-Z said, I am not a businessman. He said, I am a business man. We are a brand. When you talk about your business, you are a brand. So I encourage people to use your stories to separate yourself from the competition. I used to be a McDonald's manager at McDonald's. And you think about when you go to McDonald's, there's really pretty much only three things really on the menu. There's the fries, there's the sandwiches, and there's the drinks. And McDonald's gives you 21 different ways to order those fries, drinks, and sandwiches. So we have to create those multiple streams of income as you start going into your business. You have to think about, how can I create a story? How can I write a book? No matter what your business is, I think everyone has a book in them. Become an author, become a speaker, become a coach, become a consultant. Really diversify your income. You got to be thinking about diversification of your income right away when you start your business, and really utilizing your story is a great way to do that and separate yourself from the competition. So again, remember, you're not a businessman or businesswoman. You are a business man or woman. All right.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Mr. Troy, come on up and share with us.
Yeah, I've liked what I've heard so far, and I love what Dr. I think Tommy just said. But anyway, he really got me stirred up when he talked about the multiple streams. But one of the things is, I think many people realize the purpose of a business. Many people think the purpose of a business is to make money. That's That's the byproduct of a business. The purpose of a business is to solve problems. And Raquel has kind of said that, alluded to that earlier. The purpose of a business is to solve a problem. And so my philosophy is this. Number one is, how can I make an impact by solving problems? And number two, how can I make an income as a result of those solving problems? And that's how I view the purpose of a business. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Addy, okay, sir, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. I'm so sorry. My other device froze on me, so I had to change devices.
No
It's so
worries,
good to
no
be
worries.
here. Yeah. Business building for me, basically, it's about, I have an acronym that I use, FKG. It's called the FKG factor. You know, it's about finding the customer, keeping the customer, and growing the customer. A lot of people, a lot of businesses, they find customers, but they can't keep customers, which is customer retention. So what do you do to keep those customers? You have to continue to innovate. You have to continue to adapt. With COVID, you know, so many things have happened. We've had to move from being backstage, now front stage, which is adapting with all the online tools. And this is an example of what we're doing. You know, I'm speaking from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm speaking to different people from different parts of the world. So you keep your customer and you grow the customer. And how do you grow the customer? You have to implement new skills. It could be artificial intelligence. It could be, you know, for example, use a podcast. It could be a book. It could be through speaking. So just continue to innovate and recalibrate. So I'd just like to yield now. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for coming. Everybody has had some amazing answers to what it means to build business. But at the core of it all, the answer has been that we're solving problems. We're solving problems. We're adding value not just to our customers or our clients, but we're adding value to our communities and our neighborhoods. Building a business is so much greater than the money that we're earning for our family, but it's about the people that we're serving, which leads me into my next question for everyone.
You forgot American Supermom.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me not do that. Let me not do that. That is my partner. Wait a minute. Troy, I appreciate you. You catching
You are fine.
today.
Look, I'm over
Listen.
here taking notes, y'all. Okay. That's one thing I would say about having a business. Always taking down some notes. Great things that everybody shared. I think for me, it is learning how to get out of my own way. I was an only child raised as a high achiever, high performer, and you know, God had to humble me and sit me down through my own journey. And conversations like these remind me the power of coming together as a group and talking about things that matter and holding one another accountable. I think the message that came clear for me by the Lord in my personal journey was, you know, Jesus saved the whole world and he had 12 disciples. So what makes me think I can do it by myself? So I think never underestimating the power of masterminding, connecting with people, and realizing that you don't know everything. So that's what I would add to building business.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. So listen, because I don't want to forget you again, we're gonna start with you with this second part. So just keep your mic on because I can't be forgetting the power that's on this panel, right? Everybody has some amazing value to give. And again, even in American Supermom's answer, it does go back to the value that we're bringing to others, the value that we're bringing to others, and how we're landing an impact, not just in our lives, but in the lives of everyone that's connected to us. And so, based on your story and your journey, how important has it been in knowing your own identity? Everyone knows that I'm all about knowing your identity. How much of an impact has knowing your identity been, and how effective is knowing your identity in building the foundation of a business and a brand?
Yeah, this is a really good question, and it definitely encompasses a lot about my journey right now. because as a mom to a number of children, I really lost my identity. And my husband was an officer in the military. He's also a pastor. And I had this habit of wearing a different mask for every occasion. So I was trying to be all things to all people, seeking validation. And, for one, it's overwhelming because you feel like you have to have this perfect persona in each situation. But learning how to get comfortable in my own skin and be authentic with who I am has really been a game changer. I laugh about the technology because that is not my thing. And so I think we were on a Zoom call last night and that Zoom wasn't working. We were trying to record it because we're doing this other event together. And I was like, look, let's just get on the phone. But there would have been a time that I would have been all stressed out. Oh my gosh, this is supposed to work this way. And I just learned to adapt and keep it moving. And I don't have to have that level of anxiety because I wasn't going around pretending that I was the tech evangelist. You see what I'm saying? Who knows everything. So I think when you have that ability to know what your unique selling proposition is, you're able to connect with other people. And I think the most important thing is knowing the difference between a distraction and an opportunity. You can get really distracted trying to be all
Wait,
things.
Say that again. Know the difference between what?
A distraction and an opportunity.
Yeah.
So, that's the shiny objects. We're thinking, oh, I need this for my business. And, here you are paying these subscriptions for stuff you don't even use and wondering where your money's going, basis on versus having opportunities that you can pursue that can help you to move forward in your business. So that would be my answer. Definitely when you know your identity, you're able to speak up, stand out, and continue to stay on the right path of where you're headed.
Awesome. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
I have a couple tips for those subscriptions, America Supermom.
Go ahead and jump in right there, Mr. Troy. Go ahead and jump right on in.
Number one is an app called Truebill. It's free, and you can keep up with what is on a monthly ongoing payment. It'll give you a notification. And number two is privacy.com. Privacy.com is free. So with privacy.com, if you connect your debit card to the account, and so like if you want to set up something trial 7 days, 14 days, it'll charge the privacy.com, and you can put the limit on there so you won't miss those things that you do those trials. Oh, I forgot, and I got charged. So both of those are free. So I just want to throw that out for those subscriptions.
See the tips and tools, guys. Listen.
Hey, power of collaboration.
That's it. That's the whole point of the boot camp for this month. I hope you guys will mark your calendar every Thursday in the month of July. Myself, as well as other experts in different fields, will be here for Building Business Bootcamp every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be dropping amazing tips, tools, and gems that we need as entrepreneurs to continue to build business in an effective way. But listen, Troy, I want you to just jump right in there because you give out a lot of wisdom, and I know that you're really passionate about helping women in the areas of financial literacy, especially women of color. And so in dealing with some of your clients, how important has it been for her to know who she was and been solid in her identity as we're building business?
Yeah, it's
Oh, you muted, Troy.
I'm just talking away and on mute. Yeah, it's interesting that you said that because the majority of my clients are females, and I didn't set it out to be like that. But I just started going through my client list, and I saw that most of my clients were female. And I started doing more research and digging in deeper. So many times, men, we don't tend to really, and this is just general, not all men, we don't tend to really focus on, well, if something happened to me, how can I protect my family? many times men, we leave it to the woman. And so I started seeing where women will reach out to me and say, hey, look, I'm a single parent, or I may have a husband or a partner, and I have children, and I want to, set up something for generational wealth. I want to protect them in case something happened. And so what I've found is that more women are doing that. They're my clients, but overall, women in general don't really focus on their financial future. They live longer than men. Most of the biggest demographic in America that's poor are women, and they live longer than men. So many times, women, not knocking women, not saying this is wrong, hey, I want to get my hair done, I'm going to get my nails done, I'm going to get certain clothes and things like that. And so then the partner, the husband passed, and so now they haven't really thought about that, or they let him handle everything. But I included my wife. As a matter of fact, my wife and I, thank God, we have 31 years of marriage. And I did was I have a little box. And so I just typed up everything and put it in a box. I know if something happened to me, my wife is emotional. She's not going to be in the mindset to have a will and have my other documents in there. So if something happened to me, she can go in there. Somebody may have to help her, but she'll know where it is. So it's just, changing the mindset, changing the focus, and to focus on these things, statistics that I put out. And those statistics are staggering to me, because generational wealth. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut it up. So it was a meme, and I went to Twitter, the person's Twitter. It was a black female, and she says, I'm kind of paraphrasing. She said, I'm so sick and tired of people who, for a gift transfer to buy a house, and have a six-figure income, and their parents or other people have helped them, telling people who have a struggle on how to get out of debt. If I can do it, you can do it. And the issue we haven't had, we're behind. We don't have the generational wealth, and we're trying to catch up. Our generation now is trying to educate our children, our grandchildren, set them up, because we're so far behind. I don't know if you guys know, but they predict in the year 2050 that Black America,
Wow.
and that's going backwards.
Wow.
A year.
Wow. I mean, he yielded with
I like to jump right quick.
Go ahead.
I definitely agree with that. And of course, I started my business. My business name is Evolving Eve. And when I started the business at the time, I was 24. And I was thinking about the evolution of where I was going from being a single person to now having a child. I'm now going to be a wife. There's going to be a lot of evolution that I'm going to have to kind of like put forth. And that is a conversation that I definitely have with a lot of clients. Is a battle of how can someone who has a quote unquote hand up tell me how to do better when I don't have that same hand up. But I didn't have the same hand up. So I understand that it's a mindset shift and understanding that we are in a deficiency, right? When I say we, people of color, there's certain conversations that we are left out of when it comes to finances, when it comes to the understanding of budgeting, when it comes to even when we're on the platform talking about multiple streams of income. People don't even understand that you can have one business can give you 7 streams of income if you do it right. So now the question is, how do you get that knowledge and evolve from your mindset to where you currently are to pivot and then reach those goals? That person that has that ability to get that $50,000, that's because their family organically had that conversation. Doesn't necessarily mean they were involved in it, but they reap the benefits of it. So now that you're in a position, in a place that you have access to Mr. Troy, you have access to Vic, or anyone on this platform, you now have the ability to shift where you were and evolve into where you need to be. And if we're doing that right, that's the catalyst. That's going to be what separates us and not allow us to hit that number to where we won't have financial resources, we won't have the stability. Because right now we know that the trend is women-owned businesses are on the rise. We are the it girls, right? Like Black girl magic has taken over a storm. But how do we take that information and then monetize it, apply it, and give that information to the next generation so that they will have that knowledge? Because I think a lot of times we say knowledge is power. No, my coach made a very good statement with me. Knowledge is cool. The application of knowledge is where the power comes in. So when we can give them the knowledge and give them that application to be like, hey, this is how you make boss moves right here. This is how you take the wounds, right? I call it experience, right? I don't call it a negative connotation, but for me, my experiences and my journey have given me a greater understanding that I can be in the room with someone that might be a walking wounded, and I can speak life into that situation and evolve them from that space. But that is because I've done the work, as we were talking about before, the evolution, understanding what your identity is, understanding who you are, what you've been through, and how your story and the accomplishments of your story can take you from where you were to where you need to be, right? Because that to me is what separates me from the person that hasn't made it yet. The goal is you get exposed to me and you literally find who you are. Because that, I mean, when we're talking about find who you are, what your identity is, for a long time, a lot of mothers that are on the platform, a lot of mothers that are in the room, we get lost in I'm a parent, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm everything but Raquel, Christina, Sharon, and David. And then when they leave, right, then who am I? So if you're doing the work in the process to figure out what were my wounds, how have they now become my triumphs? Because the girl who got put out at 14 is not grown woman at 41 that you see, right? The girl who didn't have a loving household is not cultivating that in her today life. And because I was able to work through that, because I was able to process that, I'm now able to evolve and give that same strength to whoever comes into my atmosphere, right? So I definitely love that we are having the real conversation about identity, because identity allows us to pivot, evolve, and then take that knowledge and put it into application to then reach our final goals.
Love that. Love that. Listen, guys, thank you to everyone that has been joining us across Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch is showing up in the house today. Love the feedback we're getting from Twitch and the comments we're getting from Twitch. Thank you guys for joining us on Twitter as well as on YouTube. I have got some comments over here that are kind of choppy or break up. Please let me know. I may be having some internet difficulties in my area that I'm unaware of, but we're going to keep the conversation going because I like where it's going. It's so important to know who we are and everything that we do. And so, Austin, I'm going to just ask you to unmic to mental health professional, people who are wanting to be entrepreneurs or are entrepreneurs. How important is it that we know who we are?
Yeah, definitely. Love the conversation. I think one of the first things that I want to kind of bring out is, as an entrepreneur and seeing where you're going in business, you're only going to go as far as the amount that you discovered the chambers of your own heart, right? And walking that with God. And it's really important to know that, just like with business, just like with the ministry, the things of your heart are going to be challenged. They're going to come to the surface. Relationships, how you deal with part of my business is understanding that poverty mindset, right? How do you crush and how do you get out of your life? So connecting that to as we talk about telling my story is kind of my background is going to the military academy at West Point, graduating, being an officer in the United States military. While I was at the academy, I played ball, football, and track and field. So there was a lot of leadership that was kind of poured into us, pushed into us, but not until later on going through wartime. I'm a wounded warrior, got injured in Afghanistan, and then kind of built from there into the mental health. But part of that was, where I have intersection is between leadership and mental health, right? A lot of times, easy stuff within our skill set is easy to do, a lead or especially in business. But the real cost is around those relationships, around those dark and secret times where you're not living a thriving and fulfilled life. So business exposes that quite. If there's a bad relationship with your word or with your trust or those type of things, it begins to manifest within business. And as you're counting the costs within business, making sure that those things have been addressed, you're willing to talk through it and work with it. And the second part is that integration. A lot of things that I work with leaders is how do you actually integrate those parts? The Bible tells us about, it says, restore my soul, bring all those pieces that have been ripped off through trauma, other things. And as a whole and as a leader, it's our responsibility to be the ones that have kind of integrated these parts of us, these parts of leadership, these parts of being a mother, a father, and that there's no difference in how I operate in business, how I operate in relationships in the body of Christ, other places that you see. In places of leadership, there's a part where your heart will be exposed, and make sure that you have someone that you can actually go to, counselor, coach, and actually work through these hard concerns. Many leaders have burnt out. Many leaders have morally bankrupt themselves in the pursuit of money. So how do you make sure that the most important thing is your heart and your guarding it?
Great wisdom, great wisdom, great wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing that. Again, thank you guys that are showing up. I'm just super excited that Twitch is showing up today. It's a blessing to me. Thank you all that are sharing this broadcast across multiple platforms, across Facebook. I want to say Periscope so bad, but it's not Periscope. It's Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube. Guys, thank you so much for jumping in this conversation. Continue to get in the comment section because we want to hear from you. If you have questions for any of the panelists, put those questions in the chat. If you have some comments that you want to continue to share, please continue to share those comments as well. And we're going to move right on along. And First up, I'm going to pop in and let Ms. Tisha Hammond share with us the importance of the identity as it relates to building business in your brand. And then we're going to move on over to Dr. Tommy Watson after Tisha shares with us her thoughts on the matter.
All right, I appreciate that. To Brother McCallum, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Appreciate that. I like to say, Laquita, that we come from a long line of entrepreneurs. That's actually the first line of my book, Daily Devotional for Entrepreneurs, Your Season to Grow. And that's because I think that God had a true entrepreneurial spirit when he went about creating the world, and us, and the things that we have dominion over. When it comes to the way that identity impacts the foundation of a business, well, you have to have cornerstone. I have not built a home like physically, but I built a home, if that makes sense. And it has to start somewhere with an anchor that's strong. And to me, that starts with purpose. So my company was actually founded on the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. It's something that my family celebrates and commemorates every year, and not just from December 26th through January 1st, but 365 days a year. And so to answer your question most directly, Laquita, I'm going to suggest that NIA, or purpose, is essential in identifying, creating a foundation for your business. And here's what I know. I know that you have to have a community to help you in your endeavor in creating a business and building a business. I know that when you are not self-serving and when you are serving at large for a greater reason or a larger purpose than just beyond yourself, then you're restoring people and the community or the world around you. Your job has become to make the world around you a better place. And so my company has totally gone through different stages some ways. I remember chasing popularity. And as someone who is in the media industry, I enjoy helping people find that popularity that they are looking for. I remember chasing profits in founding my company. And when you're out here chasing money, you find out real quick that not all money is good money, y'all. You can't be everybody's small business cheerleader. You can't serve everybody. You can't take everybody's money. And if you do, well, then be prepared to accept the consequences. And when I got down to the heart of the matter and removed licked all the wounds, right? We're talking about wounds here earlier. I licked all the wounds, the thing I was doing wasn't working, and remembered that God gave this business. He's the director. I get to operate it every day. And that restored the purpose in me of why I'm out here trying to provide light and spotlight to as many people as I can, why I promote other people's businesses above mine. Well, that's what I'm called to do. And when you know that, when you get away from it, then you know what to come back home to.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tisha. Thank you so much. Let's move. Dr. Tommy, I'd like to hear from you, sir.
Tisha, I agree with you on that as well. So we need a doctorate degree as well. Everyone needs to get a doctorate degree today. So, I think the core of who you are, what you believe should be at the very essence of the business. It was about 4 years ago. I was actually a school principal making $120,000 a year. I was reading Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. And then there's a section that talks about 10,000 hours. And our purpose in life will be connected with something we've been doing for 10,000 hours. And in that moment, for me, it dawned on my purpose was to simply just inspire people that I want to go home. I didn't want to manage a bunch of people. I didn't want to deal with a bunch of history folks telling me I should be doing this with the kids. And I walked away from that. I walked away from that job and was flat broke a few months later. And people asked me, "Do you regret it?" I said, "No way. No way." Because what I learned in that valley moment was absolutely essential. And, one of the things we've seen in the pandemic is the great resignation. People are looking for more purpose and more meaningful work right now. And when the pandemic, people have realized that and said, "You know what? I'm leaving this job in pursuit of finding something that's more meaningful to me." So it's very, very important that we all find a purpose and we're built around purpose as it relates to who we are. And if that job that you or business that you want is not there, go create it yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. We got there's some great value being added in here today. I hope that everyone's watching definitely has something to write with and something to write on, because each one of our panelists has been sharing some amazing things from their heart, from their experience. And these are the types of live broadcasts where you're getting amazing value at no cost other than the time that you're spending to tune in. So let's hit those like and share buttons and get this broadcast out to as many people as possible. Remember the names of each of the panelists. Follow them on their social media. Connect with them so that they can help you to get to the best version of yourself by being able to help you build in the areas that you need to be built up in. And so thank you so much again, Dr. Tommy. I'm going to move on over, and I'm trying my best not to forget anybody. But I'm going to save Coach Tawana for last, because I want to answer the question as it relates to everybody wants a 6 to 7 figure income. Everybody wants a 6 to 7 figure contract. But if you don't know who you are, I want to know how it worked out for you. So we're going to save Coach Tawana for last. And we're going to move on over to my friend Vic. Go ahead and jump in, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm hearing tons of content. I also have my notes over here too. America Supermom. My man Troy has dropped some wisdom. Raquel, for sure. And I already know Coach Tawana going to eat up this question about getting funding for your business because you need to be minority certified. But anyway, what I would say as far as it relates to, the identity question, how does your personal identity impact the ability and effectiveness of building a strong foundation in your business? Number one is everyone out there who's in business should be familiar with or have taken a DISC assessment. You need to understand your personality traits. What are your skill sets that you're strong at, and what are the skill sets that you're weak at? Once you understand your own personal personality traits, where they're high and where they're low, you can make adjustments to how you communicate to others, how you want to be communicated. You can set standards differently for yourself and for your business. And I think one of the other kind of unspoken benefits to taking a DISC assessment is understanding personality, period. So now you know how to communicate to your target audience. You know what drives them to buy. You know what drives them to make the decisions that they make with their money. You know how to cater your services or products to target those people. So really understanding your own personality traits. And I take this every year because I change every year, and, again, how we operate in business is to solve problems. Well, you're solving a problem, and then you realize that after solving several problems for people, that there are unconscious needs that they may have that you can add services on to help build them up, solve their problems even more, and also add more revenue to your business. So you need to understand your personality and then really just understand how different personalities approach you. I had a good talk with my wife, Latasha, about this, who's a realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just about understanding the moment that she gets the person on the phone. If they say, "Hey, girl, how you doing? I'm looking for a house," that's probably going to be a high I. They really want to know more about the bedrooms and the lights coming into the house and all of these different, physical features of it. Whereas somebody else is like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm looking to purchase a home because we want to build our generational wealth." Well, you need to talk to them about how their return on investment will grow from the 5 to 10% appreciation rates and how they can improve the property to improve the values there. And you want to talk to them about the numbers related to the transaction and their interest rates and things like that. So that's my answer to that. And I yield the mic.
That's what I'm talking about. My boy always adding value. And of course, I couldn't agree more about that DISC assessment because, I am certified to administer those DISC assessments and help you read through what they mean and show you how to implement them in your life personally as well as professionally. It's something that a lot of businesses do and have allowed me to be a part of that with their teams to help their teams grow. So you don't want to disregard that statement at all. So thank you so much for sharing, Vic. Okay, sir. We're going to come back to you and then we're going to go to Coach Tawana. How important is it as a fellow John Maxwell, you and Troy as fellow certified John Maxwell coaches and speakers, what do you feel about the importance of knowing who you are as it relates to building your business and your brand?
Very, very nice question. I think I just want to share my story. I left the banking industry 20 years ago to start my own business. Started off with real estate, and it was a bit slow. I heard from God that I should leave my day job, and for a few years I couldn't balance my bills. I couldn't meet up with my expenses, and so like everything is a journey. When God said to Abraham, "Leave your father's house," nothing was happening for quite a bit. But my journey into consulting, which is management consulting, I've been running the firm for about 15 years. That was a shift. I still do real estate, but I'm known more for speaking, coaching, and training. And I just hit my sweet spot, and I got more clarity. And so when God speaks to you and says start a business, it's not going to show you the whole picture. It might sound very exciting. The initial idea comes to you, but God doesn't show you the whole picture. So For me, it's a journey. You start off with baby steps, but in the last few years, my business has really taken, a better shape than what it was when I started. And so clarity is very important because it's just like the Chinese bamboo tree, it doesn't begin to sprout immediately. It takes years and years of, just watering and nurturing and, staying focused and being patient. But while being patient, one of us spoke earlier about, having mentors, accountability partners, people within your network that can encourage you, because sometimes it can be energy sapping. Sometimes you can be discouraged. Even while you have that conviction about what you want to do, you have clarity, you know who you are, self-awareness. But sometimes there can be self-sabotage, which is, you go into that moment where you begin to doubt and begin to question yourself because you're not seeing those things that you're supposed to see. Revenue is not coming in. The business is not growing. But, there's a process, the law of process, which Coach John Maxwell will say, before, when you're moving from your comfort zone into your strength zone, you go through pressure. If you want a beautiful meal, which is a la carte, is different from fast food. So you have to be ready to stay in the game, and it's a marathon. So I just want to say that even while you know who you are, you just have to be ready to stay in it for the long term. Thanks. I yield the mic.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, sir. And Coach Tawana, we're bringing it home with you. We're bringing it home with you. How important is it? And knowing who you are, knowing your identity, and building your business, building your brand, bidding on these 6 and 7 figure contracts.
My sister is everything. It is absolutely everything. Everything that has been said so far, my gosh, I got pages of notes right here, has been so valuable. And I would conclude with adding and reminding all of us, if you don't know, even since the pandemic began, the federal government has spent more than $6 trillion with small business owners, mid-sized business owners that look like you and me. They are spending millions on women-owned businesses, minority businesses. How about we talk about the private sector? Companies like MetLife, Amazon, UPS, Verizon, AT&T, BET, Walt Disney, IBM, Walmart, CVS, Kroger. I can go on. They are spending millions of dollars on minority business, with minority business. How about I say it this way? They are looking for you. They're looking for minority businesses. That's African American, Asian, Hispanic, and Native American. Women. Oh, I love what you said, sister, about the women businesses. Women businesses are on the rise. More women are opening business than anybody. And the money is being spent on your goods and your services, your products. How about municipalities, colleges, airports? You might be sitting there thinking, well, they're not buying what I buy. How about I start here? The federal government buys everything. Coach Swanner, are you talking about, do they buy hair? Yes, they buy hair. They buy paper clips. They buy ice and ice cream. They buy tires. They buy everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. But guess what? Private sector corporations do too. So when we talk about our identity as business owners, as people, We talked about purpose and vision and our value proposition. All these things are vital, but we got to have a balance, because when you walk into the door with the federal government, many times they see you, the woman, or that minority individual. You go into a corporation and they see the minority or the veteran or the LGBTQ business owner, because they know how you're, quote, labeled. I lived this. I walked into many doors and sat at the table with the C-level at airports, tollway authorities, and they saw the Black woman. How about you see that I have a staffing agency or construction firm or photography business or administrative business? We want to make sure that when we talk about our personal and our business identity, that when you walk in the door, yes, I'm leveraging a certification. This is my tool, because I know you're spending 23% on what I sell. I know you're spending 20% or 15% on my construction or on my staffing or on my hard hats that I'm selling, on my steel toe boots or my hair that I'm weaving. Yeah, there are bids out there for cosmetology and people who cut hair, all kinds of bids. So when you walk into the room, you gotta go in with your head up high. Yes, I'm a Black-owned business, or I'm a Hispanic-owned business, or Native American. Yes, I'm a woman, or I'm a veteran, but I also sell this, and I got a great price and the best service that you'll ever see. We gotta leverage who we are on both sides, because that target audience, that's what they're looking for. I hear all the times, I work with business owners and I work with corporations who are working with certified business owners. So I've talked with IBM, I've talked with Hewlett Packard, I've talked with airports. And what they want to hear when we walk in the door is, I am Tawana Hayward Bay. I'm the CEO of Hayward Bay International, and our goods and services that I know will bring value to your company is my consulting. And here's what we do. 1, 2, 3, XYZ. And oh, and by the way, once we get to that point of the conversation, yes, I'm certified as a minority business and a woman-owned business and a veteran business and a disadvantaged business. I got you there. So those dollars that I know you're spending, yes, you can spend them right here, because we've got the goods and services. Yes, we've got the product, we've got the price. Oh, should I go down to the marketing piece? Yes, we got it all. Now, let's talk about contract. Let's talk about when you want us to get started. So when we walk into the room, we got to make sure we walk into the room knowing who we are, that identity. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I bring value. I've got the best S, Y, and Z. But yes, I'm leveraging a tool too. I think that's important. Leverage, 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 leverage. Then that heart comes out, that purpose comes out, that vision comes out, that confidence come out. And yeah, that Black girl magic I got going on over here comes out. My God comes, it's all right there on the table. Now let's negotiate. I'll close out with that.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you.
I just want to say, if y'all did not write that down, y'all better watch the replay, because I'm telling you right now. I was like, wait, what am I supposed to say in this room? Hold on, because y'all better write this down. I'm just saying, like, share, subscribe, share, because that right there. Thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yes. Listen, that's some amazing nuggets right there, Coach Tawana. Definitely. She coming back, y'all, because we got a lot of comments. People want to know how to do what she just said. Listen, come back the 4th week of July, and she's gonna be dropping more nuggets as it relates to getting certified and how to leverage those certifications to get those wins. So we're not ignoring you. We're just limited on time. We want to make sure we get everybody. So come back. She'll be back with us in the 4th week of July. And so, Troy, we're gonna
big point. There was a question in the chat about bias. Victor, you hit it on the head. I mean, your response was on the money. It ties in directly with Coach Tawana was saying, because sometimes, as Black people, we start seeing some of the biases and some of the prejudices we've been facing. We start looking at it as a deficit. But I want people to start thinking of it as running a race. You have two people running a race. You have one person who gets to run straight to the finish line. What did they learn? How did they get stronger by running through the finish line? You think about all the stuff we have to go through to get to where we have to get to. It makes us so much stronger. And it goes right back to what Coach Tawana is saying. See those obstacles that we face as African Americans and minorities as an opportunity to get stronger, and know that you're coming to the table with something much better and probably something much different than a person who doesn't have to go through those obstacles. So don't see those challenges as something negative, but as a way to enhance yourself. So great response, Victor, as well.
Love it. Thank you so much for jumping in there, because that was one of the things. Like, we've got some good questions and comments that have been popping up, and we're going to address them throughout the month of July. So you guys tune in every Thursday, and we're going to get to these questions and get you the answers that you need. But before we do that, I know we're well over the hour mark, and I just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to share their final thoughts. And we're going to start with Troy. Troy, share with us the importance of self-leadership. Leave us 3 tips, bro, about the importance of self-leadership as an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. Selfless. See, you getting something started. I will say this. Remember, leadership is all about influence. And, people think leadership is a title. They think it's a position. No, it's all about influence. We lead every day, either negatively or positively, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes consciously. And we all have some type of influence. So just remember that leadership is out front, and we're influencing someone. And so whenever we get an attitude, or we get upset with people, or we do something that we know is wrong, we're influencing somebody negatively. And so just be aware of that. So always be aware that our actions and our words can affect others. And if we remember that, we'll keep ourselves on point. So, well, I don't think that's wise for me to do or say, because it's going to impact somebody else. And people say, well, don't care about others' opinions. No, it's not about an opinion. It's about how we impact others. That's one of the biggest problems I had with the former president. A lot of his actions, his character was bad, and a lot of his actions influence people negatively, and people don't realize that. They say he's the greatest. No, I think he was one of the worst leaders. Now he did some other things, but I'm talking about just leadership, because he said and did a lot of things that impacted people negatively, and that influence there. Just want to say that. Thank you, Laquita. I was just gonna say, hey, look, thank you for the opportunity, but you threw that question on me, and I just want to act like I was running. So, but anyway, I gotta go. So I'll be here next week. And again, let's give Laquita a hand for putting this on. Thank you so much, Dr. Laquita. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all next week. Shout out to all the guests, and nice meeting y'all.
Good to see you, Troy.
Likewise,
Victor. Troy.
Bye-bye.
We're rolling up your alley, sir. We're rolling up your alley. How important is self-leadership to entrepreneurs? And give me 3 tips that they can use, or we can use, to improve self-leadership.
All right. So self-leadership is absolutely critical to being a business owner, right? Because it starts with you. I mean, I guess the number one tip that I would recommend for anybody that wants to improve in that area, go back, revisit this recording, look at all your notes, play this daily 3 times to get it into your head and retrain your brain, because there have been so many nuggets here that are basically the same elements of all successful people out there. They've used everything that we've said in here has been utilized in many different ways in business. So number 1, revisit the information that you just learned. 2, we already talked about it, and maybe reach out to Dr. Monley about getting a personality assessment, a DISC assessment. The better you know who you are, the better that you can serve the world and the people around you on your team, and again, grow your business. And then the one that I'm just super critical about it is kind of what we started, Laquita, a few years back, which is create your future self.
Yeah.
You have the power within yourself to create the future that you want to perceive. I am today living the actions, the thoughts, the words that I spoke 5 years ago. So now I'm talking bigger and better for the next 5 years of my life and for my legacy. So daily habits to create yourself. Every single day, you should be working on something to improve yourself as a leader. And that's all I got. Thank you so much, Dr. Monley, for this. This has been a tremendous event.
Thank you for joining, sir. I appreciate you. You always have amazing gems. We're gonna round this up. I got to get to Miss Raquel and then America's Supermom. Talk to me about self-leadership and give me 3 great tools.
So, self-leadership to me means showing up as the version of who I see myself as. Every day when I get up and I literally get started, I am showing up as the Raquel that I see 5 years from now. The Raquel that I see that has the properties, and again, it may not be materialistic. It may just be at peace, right? So when you're dealing with that, be aware of how you're showing up daily, because that's going to affect your performance. That's going to affect how you become solutions based, and it's going to attract what you're looking for. So if you're looking to attract good things, show up as a person deserving of great things, and you're going to get that. You get what I'm saying? My 3 tips that I wrote down was know your whys. That is something that my wonderful friend, Dr. LaQuisha said, actually, I think it was like the second time I had a conversation with her. It was, what's your why? And I literally have that on my wall. What is my why? And if I know my why, I can definitely show up and show out to meet that particular goal. Also, understanding that discipline over feelings is going to get you further in business than anything else. No matter how you feel, no matter what it looks like, if you're disciplined enough to get up and execute that task, you are going to outwin. They have a saying, I think it's, I'm sorry, I'm from foreign, but in America, I think there's the saying, it's something along the lines of, effort outweighs talent, because effort shows up. So like, if you're actually doing the work, if you're actually pursuing your desire, if you're learning, if you're applying, that's going to outshine someone who may have the natural talent, because you're honing in on the skills. As Dr. Tom mentioned earlier, for you to be well versed in your niche, right, or in any market, you need to do 10,000 hours. That's what musicians do. That's what writers do. They're putting in that work, and you need to put that work in for your own business every day. So get rid of the emotions. And I'm a woman, I have emotions all the time. My husband has emotions. I think everybody has emotions, but I feel like I'm extra emotional. Okay. But when I process, what is my end goal? What is my why? And I follow through with the discipline, I always get the end result that I have worked for. And lastly, show up with solution in mind. Like, I cannot, in business, in life, we have to understand that we are truly solutions based to the core. That doesn't matter if you're doing dinner. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get new clients. It doesn't matter what you're looking to do. If you're not finding a solution, you are probably the problem. And then you need to write that down and figure out how to solve it. But know your whys, understand discipline over everything, and show up with solutions. And I promise you, if you are showing up as your future self, you are going to get the attraction of what it is you desire and you deserve at the end.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to move over to America's Supermom and Alton. You guys go ahead and share self-discipline and the 3 tips.
All right. Well, thank you again, Dr. Monley, for this event. It has been wonderful and so many nuggets and gems. Again, I'm going to have to watch the replay. I would say the first thing is a morning routine, making sure that you have that set up. Also, asking questions. A lot of times I can just go back in my own journey. I would tell myself stuff. I should be doing this. I should be doing that, rather than asking questions that prompted me to take action and get out of my own way. And then the last thing, since we've been talking about trees, is understanding that I'm more than a tree. I listened to this podcast about a month ago, and the gentleman shared that if you are so focused on being a tree, you can miss the opportunities to be a table, to be a chair, and so a pencil, different functions from that tree. Understand that a tree can evolve to be many things. So, in conclusion, the last thing is that I'm more than a tree. And thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Lachelle. I appreciate you. I love that. We are more than a tree. All right, awesome. Alton, sir, please share your wisdom with us.
Yes, definitely. Love this panel. Thank you for inviting me. Definitely going to reach out to everyone that's been on this panel. Some great nuggets, some great wisdom. I think, self-leadership is vitally important to what you do as an entrepreneur and what you set out for your purpose. I think there's a few things that really tie that back to making sure that it's salient in your life every single day. And that's the first thing I would say is, how often are you revisiting your purpose and what's the form of it? Daily, knowing why you're getting up, knowing why you're agreeing to work hard in this trade or this business that you've been blessed with, and making it a regular practice. We could go weeks, months, and not reconnect it continuously. In order to build that resilience, it needs to be regular, like every day. Get into practice. The next thing is humility. As a business leader and those that are looking to have influence. And I'm not talking about making yourself small or insignificant. I'm just talking about the humility. You're there to have a solution or bring a solution to the table. Sometimes that solutions need some adjustment. So being able to listen and bring it in and now put it into the solution. And then, the other things are make sure that you can translate. You're a translator when you're out there, right? Ambassadors and all those people that are thinking about kingdom, thinking about establishing something that is put in you as a purpose. You have to figure out how to it's translated into every community and every place where your feet are going to tread. And make sure you have a restorative practice. How are you restoring your soul continually, all the time? So those are things that I would add in that self leadership. And thank you so much for having me, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come in, add value. Again, thank you. We appreciate it and love the nuggets. Miss Tisha Hammond, we are coming down your street, ma'am.
All righty. So importance of self-leadership. And I'm going to take you back to one of the principles of Kwanzaa, which is self-determination, kujichagulia. And I'm going to say having extraordinary determination is important when you are leading yourself, because you got to know what direction you're leading yourself in if you want others to be influenced by that, and you're persuading others to go in the same direction with you. So if you're gonna have self-leadership, have an extraordinary amount of it, please. 3 tips that you could do right now to improve your self-leadership would be: 1, make a decision. Please. I know we're a faith-based community, and we will say, I'm gonna put it in prayer. I'm gonna just wait for the Holy Spirit to tell me what to do. And that's good. And please do. With the understanding that in business, you have some deadlines and some time frames to honor as well. You have some commitments and obligations. And indecision kills momentum and it kills dreams. So give up some control. Allow someone to help you. And the PR person inside of me is begging you to allow yourself to have a spotlight shown on you. You might be real introverted and want to be behind the scenes. Well, there are still ways to help your brand shine in the midst of all that, so you can reach a larger audience. But make a decision to reach a larger audience. Number 2, use the resources that you have. We were created to be creative people. So I'll go with Kuumba for creativity, a Kwanzaa principle. Now, what do I mean by that? It means use your creativity to to leave the community better than how you found it, to become a part of a community, and to use the resources that you have. So oftentimes, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, micro, tiny business owners, or those that are emerging and just bringing in independent contractors and maybe a W-2 salaried employee here or there, use what you have. And what you have often is a limited budget. And so if you want to be a part of a community, I would suggest, you want to get into a business association, but say that you cannot afford the membership rate. Well, visit as a guest of a member and get their low rate to attend that thing, or use free guest passes to attend networking events if that's something that you're able to do, or choose the virtual option over the in-person option if your budget is not ready to spend the way that some ways that being creative would help you grow sometimes cost some money. But if you don't have that, be creative with the ways that you put yourself out there in the community. Number 3, form a squad. This is Ujima. And this is collective work and responsibility. And so hashtag together, hashtag community is always helpful to an entrepreneur, because otherwise you might feel like you're out there all by yourself, and that's a trick of the enemy. That's a lie. You're not alone. You're not. There are millions and millions of us who are here to help, who don't mind lending a hand, who don't mind sharing sound advice, who don't mind telling you what we would have wished we knew when we got started. Entrepreneurship can be a true burden if you're trying to carry all the weight alone. And just because we've said self-leadership does not mean that you're alone in any way. So I would just suggest start with, before you even launch on day one, start with an intern, start with 2 interns, start with 3 interns and build your squad. Okay. And then this finally, Laquita, I would suggest to the viewers, the listeners, that if they stay in your community and if they support the communities that have been represented on this panel, you will be champions. You will be. There's no other option in Laquita's community. So you are not alone. All right.
Awesome. I love it. You're not alone as a business leader. There is amazing community. And as long as we tap into that, we'll continue to grow and thrive. And Adi, okay, sir, please jump into this conversation about self-leadership.
Thank you so much, Laquita. Coach Laquita, we were on Clubhouse yesterday speaking about personal development, self-improvement. And now we're talking about self-leadership. Like we said yesterday, you can't give what you don't have. I just want to celebrate you for the growth that has become visible. In the last 1 year, I've had numerous platforms, occasions to speak, alongside with yourself. So you're an example of what it is to grow and to deliver value, even in this very interesting times. 3 things I would like to share very quickly is I call it 3 C's of self-leadership. 3 C's. Number 1, clarity. You have to be clear about where you're headed to. Just be so certain about where you're headed to, because there's a lot of distraction out there. Globally, Ukraine, cost of living has gone up. So you have to be clear about where you're headed to. Number 2 is consistency. People buy into a consistent product. Coca-Cola has been there for years. Pepsi has been there. McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You don't get into Kentucky and they say they shut down, or into McDonald's and they say they're not going to open for 2 weeks. So they keep on showing up. So you have to keep on showing up even as a leader. People are watching you. They're paying attention to what you're doing. So that's very important. Then 3, just like we just said now, you have to be in a community. Collaboration. I do a lot of collaboration, which is it helps me to stay ahead of the curve. Zig Ziglar says that you can get everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. Some people just show up on their own, and you're not going to gain traction. One can go far, one can go fast, but two will go very far. So I just like to yield. So it's clarity, consistency, and collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I do appreciate it. And Coach Tawana, we saved you again for last because self-leadership is important. I happen to know that Tisha is WBE certified. And are you MBE certified as well, Tisha? She's because she posted about it recently. And so self-leadership and going through that process and leveraging these to get the contracts that we want, I know it's important. And so that's why I saved you for last again, Coach Tawana.
Nothing but love for you, big respect. When we talk about leadership, you are an example of leadership, my sister.
Thank you.
Spiritually, as a business leader, your communication, you collaborate. I know we collaborate together with my program. You are phenomenal. Woman of God and of business. And I have enjoyed myself with you today and the panel. I've learned a ton, but I'm gonna stop talking about that so I can hurry get off of here for you because I know we're on a time limit. When we talk about the importance of leadership, we know words and people, we know example, we know all those things, right? But we also know that as business leaders and trying to build a business, certifications, all of this, it's not for the faint of heart. It's hard. It'll wear you out. It's difficult, but we have vision and we have passion and we're excited about building something and growing something and making some money and leaving something for our next generation. I know that's always on my mind. I'm always praying about it. But everything has been said, so I'm going to say these things that have helped me because there have been times when I wanted to quit. Okay. There are times when you want to quit. There are times when you get up in the morning and I don't feel like doing this today. Forget the money. Forget the phone call I got to make. Forget helping somebody. I would encourage everybody that's listening to rest. Get your rest. Take care of yourself. Wellness, self-care. Take care of yourself. Rest. Pray. Meditate. Do those kind of things to help you stay physically strong. I know as women, we keep running and we keep going. I know men do it too. But if you don't take the time to rest, it'll catch up with you. And we're in this for the long haul, right? We're in this for the long haul. So please take care of yourself. The second thing I would say is don't grow weary in doing good. What you are doing is good. The Bible says don't grow weary in it. Take it to God. He's got you. He's in control. Stay positive. Keep a PMA, positive mental attitude. Keep your faith. Don't lose your faith in doing this because you're doing good. You're building your community. You're tithing. You're giving back to the Lord. You're taking care of your family. Don't grow weary. And the third practical thing, these are practical things. The third practical thing that I would say is read a good book on leadership every quarter. Hello, read a good book. Look, I'm also a past graduate of John Maxwell's program, okay? And I've got a good 20-something of his leadership books. You cannot go wrong. One I would recommend, The 5 Levels of Leadership, proven steps on maximizing your potential as a leader. If you're going to grow and develop as a leader, pour back into yourself. We put out so many withdrawals. We put out a lot. Get some deposits. I said a quarter. I didn't say every week or every month, but read a book a quarter. I love audiobooks, okay? Because I'm always moving. So if I'm listening, oh, I like that. I can pause it, write that down. It motivates me, keeps me going. Instead of turning on the music all the time, turn on a good leadership book. Those are my 3 practical tips. So God bless you. Thank you so much for this. This is amazing. I look forward to coming back.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Coach Tawana. And it is so amazing. I saw we had a comment there about collaborations. And what I'll say to this, paid collaborations and free collaborations are collaborations. But every collaboration you shouldn't have to pay to be a part of, because it's a part of leveraging, right?
That's right.
When you're building relationships, and we talked about this a lot on different lives and different other platforms, and we talked about it some with the importance of relationship on Clubhouse, and Tisha and I have talked about it. When we build relationships first, then the collaborations happen organically.
Right.
Because here's when we're building relationships, what is the value, or what is the perceived value that we have with doing the collaboration? Someone has to understand who you are, your thought process, the value that you bring to the table in order to collaborate with you, because their brand is on the line, like their name and their brand is there. And so whether they're paying you to collaborate with them, or you're paying them to collaborate with you, or whatever the case may be, free collaborations happen organically when the relationships are built and they can see that that relationship is going to add extended value to everybody.
That's right.
And yes, collaboration and growing relationship can be seen as befriending. It can be seen as that, because if I collaborate with people who I identify with spiritually and naturally, we have to be able to identify and speak the same language. Now, that doesn't mean we agree on every single thing, but at the core, our core values are similar. Our core values speak to one another, and it's easier to collaborate. You know, you collaborate with someone and your core values aren't the same, and you on live in these internet streets and having a whole argument because you don't agree. That's not what you want to do.
That's right.
You have to take that time to get to know each other. So yeah, collaboration is key. So again, thank you guys so much for coming. I know we ran over time. I had no idea that it was going to be this long. So
never mind. You've done very well. You've done very well.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
So I can see that this is the last four standing. I just want to celebrate every one of us for staying this long. Awesome. So listen, we got some comments in there from Twitch. Twitch is on fire today. Twitch, I love you, but I got another meeting, so we can't stay on the live.
Bye.
We'll be back. We will be back next Thursday. So you guys be blessed. Take care. Thank you again for joining, and I look forward to next week.
All right.
Everything hinges on identity. It is the compass of our faith that aligns with the Holy Spirit to fulfill the Father's will. Wrapped up in identity is who we are, the purpose of our being, and every God-breathed promise that manifests as our success. Hello, I'm Laquita Monley, and I'm the author of Redefining Success, 8 Tools That I Use to Develop a Growth Mindset. In this amazing book, not only will I share with you 8 tools that I use for a growth mindset, but I'll also share the applicable principles based on God's word that you can easily implement in your life journey. So no matter where you are and no matter where you see yourself in the future, this book will be a tool that you need for your toolbox. Don't wait, get it today, and it can be found on Amazon by simply searching Redefining Success, 8 Tools That I Use for a Growth Mindset. Take care.